Today, we're going to be diving into an incredible interview with the creator and the founder of one of the most incredible paper planners I have ever used. Let's welcome Payne to the Systemize Your Life channel. I am so excited. This is a very wonderful guest episode here today on the Systemize Your Life podcast with a near and dear friend, incredible dreamer, and stellar business owner, Payne. Welcome to the Systemize Your Life podcast. We're so happy to have you here. I ask every guest that comes onto the show to please introduce yourself, obviously, but also tell us what you are juggling on a regular basis.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here, Chelsi. Yay! We have matching microphones and whatever this is called. I forgot what it's called.
Pop filter.
I'm Payne. I'm the CEO and founder of Horacio Printing. I'm also the creator of Print School. Horacio Printing, we make all sorts of beautiful planners, journals, paper products. I am a bona fide paper snob. I'm a big fan of thick, luxurious paper. And we just turned 10 this year. So we just had our 10th birthday. And so many fun milestones, so many mountains and valleys over the last 10 years. And so I'm super grateful for that. I'm also a wife. I'm a mom of 2 kiddos. I've got a almost 3-year-old boy. And then I have a 5-year-old daughter, Jane. We live in Lookout Mountain, Georgia, which is super close to Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is confusing, but that's where we're at. We love it here. I'm originally from Alabama, went to Auburn University, and started Horacio Printing when I lived in New York on Horatio Street. So in terms of what I'm juggling, juggling all the things, but I'm juggling them semi-well because I've got my fundamental needs. I've got my 5-block system. So I'm juggling the 2 businesses, the 2 babies, only 1 husband, praise God, and trying to get healthy while having a bad addiction to Dr. Pepper.
Which there could be worse things in life to be addicted to, for sure.
Yeah, I buy the mini cans, so that's my excuse.
It's totally fine. They're mini, right? Not even a big deal.
Not even a big deal.
So, you guys, here's why Polly is on the show today, mainly because if you have been in my ecosystem and in my community for any time, you know that I preach time management. And my time management system that I teach is a hybrid method, part paper planner, part Google Calendar, no other tricks necessary. That is all we need. And so I wanted to bring Payne as the creator, the founder, the dreamer, and the believer behind all things the Dream Planner for what I teach and what I'm constantly talking about. So we are going to talk about why I love this planner. We're also going to talk about how it came to be, the purpose, and kind of like the heartbeat behind Horacio in general. But there's so many other incredible products that Horacio Printing offers. And I guess I'll just really kind of jump in and talk about how I came to find Horacio Printing. I think it was an ad on Instagram, potentially.
Yay.
I think it was just a very long time ago. I found the Soap Notes Bible study, and it radically changed my life. It changed my Bible study practice. I was in a really hard and busy season, and I was able to get the most substantial Bible study I've ever really been able to do independently on my own. I was able to get it done consistently. And of course, anytime we're able to do that, that changes us, right? And so I was so grateful for your product, and then ended up finding your paper planner. Have always really loved planners. I was a diehard paper planner user in college, and before dating myself here, before we had cell phones with maps and calendars in them. Curator planners around. And when I first got out of college, I was an independent freelancing sign language interpreter. And so I had to be at jobs all around this massive valley that stretches literally 3 hours in all directions. And so I had to know where I had to be, the phone number, the address, all the things. And I carried my paper planner around, sat in my passenger seat while I drove around. And at some point when I became a mom, like that practice just fell away. And I thought, this is the most chaotic and hectic and busy season of a woman's life. Like, what happened to that? So I started diving into that again. And then I found you. And along kind of that time was when I was creating my home management system, and it just fit so perfectly. So I know I've heard your story a couple different times, but every time you tell it, I hear something new and I love it. So for me and for everyone that doesn't already know, I just heard you say that you moved to New York and you've been a lot of places, but why were you in New York? What were you doing there? And what made you want to create Horatio Printing?
So funny thing about the word Horatio is it's Latin for timekeeper, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I moved to New York for an internship in PR. That's what I studied in college. And I was planning to just go there for a summer and have like this fun experience. Ended up staying for 10 years, got a job in marketing, and quickly moved into sales because I found that my gifting was more in like the people world and connecting and teaching. And so went into advertising sales and then moved to another company, did advertising sales. And my career was taking off. Like I had a great career, but a lot of my job was taking people out and traveling. And I had clients all over the US. And so honestly, my life just kind of in my 20s, while on the outside, it looked really successful. On the inside, I definitely felt like there was something more. And also I was just killing myself, to be honest. Like I was partying, and part of my job was taking people out, and like that industry is just an industry of like, we go out, we do this on Thursday and Wednesday and at lunch. And, and all in all, after years of that career, I was like, I am so ill. And also I just felt like my life was a mess. I had dreams on the back burner. I had dreams to create a business and to be a business owner, but I wasn't pursuing my dreams. I certainly wasn't pursuing my spiritual life, like my life with God. And so when I went back into, when I recommitted my life to Jesus, it was around 2013. And I started to realize that if I want to actually pursue my dreams, I have to reclaim ownership on my time. And I read an amazing book. There was a pastor that came to my church, and I picked up his book. It's called The Artisan Soul. And the concept is that because we're all created in the image of God, and God is creative, he's an artist. Look at all the beautiful things he's made. We're in his image, so we are artists, and we naturally create. We can either create chaos, or we can create a business. We can create our dreams, right? And so he kind of explains that your life is the most important work of art, is your life, and your life is your canvas. And so that really just stuck with me. He gave really practical tips of, what are you doing in your life you need to stop doing? And so I was writing it all out. And that was my first Refocus Cloud, was born in that moment. And I decided I have got to make a planner. I've got to reclaim my schedule. I've got to take control of my canvas and start painting intentionally, and also removing things that weren't serving me. And so in that space, I just said, I'm making a planner. It's going to be Christian, even though at that time, my life wasn't like this perfect Christian life. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, what is everyone at work going to think? Like, what are my clients I was just partying with 2 weeks ago going to think? I felt very much like this failing Christian. I was like, oh my gosh, but I just felt so called to step into this and to grow and to do it afraid. So started the planner company, brought on 2 designers. We built the initial, first design, found a printer, and moved forward with printing 1,000 copies. And it was kind of like, we'll see what happens, and God breathed on it. We launched it, and it was my side hustle for 1.5 years. So I had to be really intentional with my time as it was growing, and we were, getting kind of our footing. But they sold out by January. So that was a huge affirmation towards that. And it was 1.5 years later that I finally quit my job and started doing Horatio full time. And since then, it's been ups and downs. We've launched Bible studies. We've had subscription boxes. We've done big events. We've done virtual events. We've made all sorts of like notepads and journals, stationery. We just came out with a vision board kit, which is really fun, filled with Christian, different things and scriptures, a pocket planner. And so, yeah, lots of dreams have been birthed over the years. And so I'm super grateful, and it's been a journey, and here we are. Yeah, I guess that's the nutshell.
Well, That's incredible. And I think it's so important. One of the things that I love so much is to be able to understand and connect with the story behind a product. It makes me want to love it that much more. It makes me more inclined to use it. And that was such a huge part of why I wanted you to come on here, was for people to understand that this isn't just a planner off a Walmart shelf or a Target shelf. There's like such a soul and a dream behind this company and this product, as there is with every small business and every creator and every artist. But I think a lot of people look at Horacio. I remember looking at Horacio in the very beginning from the outside and thinking it was this massive company, like massive producer, massive like in-house printer. Like I just imagine it being this like massive thing. And now that I know you, I'm like, oh, this is truly like, it has a heartbeat of an actual dream and passion of a person behind it. And it's not just like some print by fly by night thing, you know? So here's the really exciting thing. If you are listening to this on the podcast, I also want you to know that we have this over on my YouTube channel that is budding and growing, and we're so excited. Polly has an incredible YouTube channel, but I also have it. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because I'm going to be showing all the things on the camera, which is really fun. So she talked about all of these new things that she's printed. And before I go any further, you guys go to chelsijo.co/planner. And that will lead you to my favorite planner, all the planners, 10-year anniversary planners. I'm so excited to show you the design that I picked, because Polly did yourself and you put in a bunch of new gorgeous designs, which is really fun. So, and I also have the vision board kit here. I want to show it. Polly's got all of the everything that she's showing on her end, obviously. But really quickly, as I'm kind of going through and showing all these things, how did you get to the place where maybe it's just a gift that you have, but my favorite thing about all your products is how well you've designed all of them. And so I'm going to go through and I'm going to show all of them, but like, where did this come from? And I know like you paint in your free time sometimes too. Is that just like part of who you've always been? Or did it really come out and get crafted and honed in as you developed that skill through printing and through Horacio?
I think there's something about like, good design when you see it, even though you might not be able to design. It's like, when something is aesthetically pleasing and when something's off, even though maybe you can't put your finger on it. All, you know what I mean? That experience.
Yeah.
And so I hired really incredible designers, and the church I went to in New York was top-notch design. And I think often the word Christian is a negative adjective. It's like a great noun, but a terrible adjective. Like if you put Christian band, or it's a Christian movie, or it's a Christian planner, even 10 years ago, that would mean it's subpar. Give them some grace. They probably have a low budget. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's true. I think that if something is going to be Christian, it should be like more excellent than any secular any competitor. And so I was just really, really focused on our first planner, that it was the highest quality paper. I remember going to the printer and saying, I want 140 GSM. And they were like, nobody makes planners with that thick of paper. That's like cardstock. And I'm like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
He was like, that's really spendy. I'm like, I don't care. Like, you only get one shot to make an impression. And I wanted it to have a lot of margin, a lot of white space, a lot of room for you to go, because so many planners are colorful and full. And this, I wanted it to be clean, simple, lots of margin, because we need margin in our life, And so that was built off that. So yeah, Chelsi's holding it up. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about your planner. That's what sold me on it, is it's high quality. Yes, I am willing to pay a little bit more for something that's high quality for sure. The paper quality is like incredible, which is what you were just talking about. And the margin in here, this clean space allowed me to put my home management system in it, which is why I'm still using it to this day. And let's just talk about this whole row over here. My mic is sitting in front of it, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of planners here, which is really fun. And so this year, look, this has been my diehard for several years in a row now. This is the black leather book bound one. It's vegan leather.
And that one's great because it it holds up. Like if you're worried about getting fingerprints or dirt on your product, like that is the most durable one. And it's great. It's a great one.
Look at this. Like this thing, the corners are perfect. Everything about it, it looks brand new, but even better. It's like kind of broken in. And like it even has like major water damage because it was in my backpack and my water bottle spilled in it the other day. So like when you open it, you can see the wine, but like it held up great. And it's almost been, I mean, it has been a year since I've had this. But I've been using it religiously for the last 9 to 10 months and it still looks gorgeous. However, do you guys want to know that for 2025? So it's not 2025 yet, but the planner is just released. So you can go out and you can get your 2025 planner. And she just, be still my heart, converted me back to the coil bound for 2025 because this design, what do you call this one?
So that's our anniversary edition. It's a limited edition, just came out this year, but I call it the Gatsby because it's got just a little bit of like pop, but it's kind of like a chevron tile look. So it's gold with this little chevron gold accents.
Yeah, and it's the spiral bound, you guys. So I was going to get the book bound to go with it in case I change my mind, but I don't think I'm going to. So here's what happens when you get a planner from Horacio. You don't just get a planner. And I will tell you, a lot of people go and they look and they're like, oh my gosh, sticker shock. But if you use code Chelsi20, you get 20% off of your planner, which is incredible. But you don't just get a planner. Here's the thing. If you go and you buy one of Polly's planners, you get access inside to. So I'm going to talk you through this planner, which I know I've been doing a lot of, but I'm going to talk you through it again. And please make sure you go watch the video on YouTube because you'll actually get to see it as well. But you get access inside to a couple QR codes where Polly goes through some trainings. Polly, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what trainings and like actual education comes with this planner?
Yeah. So you get access to the Dream Planning Essentials course 3.0. So it's a bunch of different lessons, but the goal of the course is to encourage you, to empower you and help you dream for the next year. And we go page by page setting up your planner. So we build your bucket list together. We do a heart check together where we're releasing toxins of the heart and looking at who do I need to forgive? What do I need to let go of? What fears are holding me back? We go through the fears section where we write down our fears and then we write a scripture to conquer it. We go through generosity planning to help you be intentional with your generosity. There's just so much goodness. And then, of course, I actually brought Chelsi in to teach fundamental needs and personal growth and time blocking because she's obviously the queen of time blocking.
Yeah. So if you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is called a dream planner. And that's what I love about it. Polly's really helped me to learn how to dream more over the years and get me out of my little 1 Enneagram box. She's like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Let's just try it. We popped on the other day. She's like, you should just put it on your YouTube channel. And I was like, I'm scared. She's like, just do it. I'm like, okay, let's just do it, And so obviously she's going to take you through that. And like anything that you can ever experience with Polly is worth its weight in gold. But then you're also going to get access to me kind of walking you through the fundamental needs and time blocking system, which is, you don't get that anywhere else, you guys, unless you're inside of my course. So that comes with the planner. Not only
you also get 2 gold pens.
I know. And these incredible stickers, these gold pens, I swear to you, I have so many because I just like hoard them. Like, can I have all the gold pens? People think I have more fancy, but I've showed you have more than me.
I have so many.
Yeah. And then you get these incredible stickers that are so adorable. 4 full sticker sheets that you can use. They're like black and gold and white. Some really, really cute ones. And we use these all year long. And inside of both planners now, which I love, there are pockets. So whether or not you get the spiral or the book bound, there's a pocket inside. And then obviously, if you guys get the spiral bound, it comes with your month tabs. And then it has this really lovely bookmark inside that I just adore. Polly has not forgotten any detail. There's extra note pages at the end of every month and
praise report.
A praise report at the end of every month, which is such a great time to stop and like really be grateful for the month that you just have. I love that these things are built into the planner. And then every quarter or every new season, there's a seasonal refresh, which is amazing. And when you get into Polly's community, sometimes she'll kind of go live or encourage you and really foster this, all of this heart and soul that she's put into her planner. Once you become a part of that community, she really helps you foster that throughout the year. And I love it. I adore it so very much. Polly, why don't you show everybody and kind of talk through some of the other design options? Obviously, you can go with classic black. It's so classy and amazing. So you have that one that has been my diehard for many years.
And this is the blush in white. So if you're listening only, at the top is white marble, the bottom is blush. This is a book bound option. It's stunning. And I want to show you inside for those of you watching on her YouTube channel. This is called the horizontal layout. Yeah. Now, if you're hardcore time blocking and you really love that vertical like Chelsi does, go with the vertical. Vertical is Chelsi Jo's favorite. We have it all over our website on everything. It's like, this is the one. So we can't tell you how many people like buy the planner and they're like, wait, I thought this was Chelsi's kind of like, no, that's horizontal. So Chelsi likes vertical, but this is the horizontal. I like it because you have a to-do list on this side, and then you've got your week on the right side. And this is really great, especially if you're a student or if you're gifting this to a student. It's a great way to keep track of your assignments by subject. And every single week you have just a new little encouragement. So it says dream bigger. Every page has a scripture on it as well, and just lots of white space. You are loved. So this is one of our planners. Of course, we've got the black leather, like Chelsi showed you. And then we always have typically the white marble. This is one of our staples. Yep. I love the white marble. This year I'm going with the Gatsby like you did, Chelsi, because it's just too fun.
Because it's just so amazing. I did my first year, I started out with white marble. I have that one here. And so I think it's been like 6 or 7 years and I'm going back to the coil. So obviously if you guys are like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to pick, you can just head over to Instagram and DM me and we can chat about which one. But again, it's chelsijo.co/planner. Now, there is something else really, really fun that you added this year that you've never had before, that I've never been so tickled and thrilled about in all my life. So if you guys don't already know this, I do dream planning every year at my CEO retreat. Polly is there with some girls that are in my peer-led mastermind. And every year, we struggle to find faith-based vision kits. Typically, vision board kits, magazines, things that you buy are not faith-based. They're a little bit, they lean into new age and different practices and principles and words that resonate with other people, and they don't necessarily resonate with us. And so Polly, being Polly, created her own insanely gorgeous vision. It's called a faith-filled vision board, and it's a kit that you can get from Horacio this year. And this is what we do with it. I put it on the inside of my planner. Hers comes in this box that she's showing. I got this gorgeous white box that you could literally regift to someone. It's that beautiful. When you open it up, it's got this super thick, heavy duty Polly showing the Havana white here.
Oh no, my Havana white. It comes with the cork board and push pins.
Mm-hmm.
So ASMR.
Can you hear it? Can you hear the, and the pins are so cute. The push pins are like just adorable, but it's like this big magazine. And you know, when we were kids, I used to do this all the time, and you would like cut out like your boyfriend's name out of letters and like make this like cute little boyfriend girlfriend, like little collage thing, or like about your best friend, and you'd give it to them, you know. But now Polly's created this magazine that's all about like more faith-filled, really inspirational images, quotes. Are there scriptures in here too? I didn't even look, Polly.
Oh yeah, there's scriptures. And like there are some quotes from like Erwin McManus, who wrote the book that I mentioned, Christine Kane. And what's really fun too that I like is in the back of the book, we have these blank boxes. You don't have to print out or cut out the whole thing, but these are blank. So this is what you can put for yourself, because we don't all share the same fingerprints and the same dreams. So this is where you can put like your goal, your word, your vision, your big dream, whatever it is. And for me, what I did, which if you guys obviously are big Chelsi fans, you would know this. On my vision board. This is mine for 2025. I put my grade 8. So my fundamental needs that I picked up from the Systemize Your Life course. So I've got that in there along with my dreams across the board. And I've got, my big dream in the middle and quotes. Anyway, so if you're on the YouTube, you can see this is mine for this year, but it's such a fun process. It's so fun to do as a group. We just did this all together in San Francisco at the Mind, Body, Soul conference. We had 120 women in a room doing this together. And it was so fun to get to see. It was my first time seeing people do it in person. And it's great. I mean, we're called to dream. Your dreams matter because you matter. And God created us to have desires. Delight yourself in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. And as we align with his heart, he will pour out the desires. So it's kind of meant to be this visual representation of who you want to become. There's that great scripture, I think it's like Philippians, like whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, like think about such things. So it's this representation of like who I want to become, what are the habits I want to really focus on, and like the dreams I want for all areas of my life. So that's the heart behind it. Yeah. And they're available. It's so fun. You can get a bulk discount if you want to email us. But Chelsi's code works great. The Chelsi 20% off is an incredible deal.
Yeah, that's so interesting, Polly. I'm almost certain first time in my life this has ever happened. Philippians 4:8, I think, is that exact scripture. I was just heavily meditating on that at the beginning of this week. And I love that you brought that up, because one of the things that Polly mentioned was the fundamental needs. And that is actually something that we go through and is in every single one of these planners. So you can get access to that and make that a really rooted fundamental part of your life, is having these systems in place just by scooping up this planner. So super excited to be able to encourage you guys and welcome you into Polly's community and mine. But the last thing that I wanted to talk about was actually this big piece of who you are is teaching other people to print gorgeous products. So if you guys have a dream on your heart to print something and to print it well, to print it in a way that makes other people feel really great when they have your product in their hands, Polly, talk to us about how they can come and connect with you and what you do now with Print School.
Yeah. So if you consider yourself a paper snob, and I mean that in the best way, because it's not bad to have high standards, right, girls? So if you consider yourself a paper snob and you've had a desire to create a devotional or a journal or a planner, some hybrid planner, Print School is what I created to help people follow my dream printing method. We've had hundreds of students go through this program and create their products. I have a couple of them on my shelf. I've got a stack of boxes in the corner because I love buying each of my students' products. Yeah. It's like my little grandbaby products. And for years, honestly, like I told myself I would never teach somebody what I've poured my blood, sweat, and tears into. I was stuck in like scarcity and like, oh, if I share, and I had experiences where I was copied and I got burned, and I was like, oh, never again will I teach that. But God just kept kind of asking and like pulling, and finally I was like, fine. And it was such a freeing experience. And I now understand that that's what I'm called to do, is to not hold it together, but to let other people create the things they were meant to create to impact the people they were meant to impact. Yeah. So we have people making, cancer warrior planners and a fertility planner and a hearing the voice of God journal and unstuck journal, like so many different types of journal. We have a person making a planner just for female truck drivers, like all sorts of things like I would have never created, Right. And so it's so fun for me. They get to go through my ideation process, my dreaming process, and then streamlining that into spreadsheets and like my little templates so they can get organized. I connect them with my printer. They print a sample, and then I take them into step 2, which is launch school, helping them set up their website, their email, their launch campaign to help them. Some students choose to do pre-order campaigns in order to fund the print and pay for it, and getting those early orders in so you can have a cash injection in your business. And it's so fun. I love cheering them on. It's a really great community of dreamers and encouragers and creators. And that's just where I thrive. Like I love it. So yeah, Print School is super fun. You're definitely welcome to come hang out. It's normally application based, But if you're a friend of Chelsi, you're a friend of me. And so you can get access to Print School actually through Chelsi's link.
Yeah, you can go to chelsijo.co/print school, and that will allow you to bypass the application process, which is wildly cool. So thank you very much, Polly, for allowing them to do that. You can find those links in the show notes or down below. So I am so grateful that you have showed up so big, because not everyone does. And I hope that this episode encourages other people to go show up big for their lives by managing their time well and doing it with a product that makes them and calls them to the consistency of using their time intentionally. And then for those people that are like, I do want to print a thing, this is it, because there's somebody listening and watching that absolutely has been looking and has been Googling and hoping to find that path. My family has been blessed by your students already greatly, to the point where like I've cried multiple times with their products that they've created because you opened your heart to teach them. And so much of this is like, maybe you're a woman that's just sitting there like, I don't have the time to do anything. Well, we start here. So please make sure that you check more out about Polly and Horacio Printing. And thanks for being here, Polly.
Yay, thanks for having me.